Okay, welcome to my live. I just is adjusting my light so it doesn't shine in my eyes. Hope everyone's doing well today. Today I'm going to talk about how I started posting on the internet and built a following and a platform out of nowhere, out of just me posting content. And I don't know if you're inspired by my story. Please do what I do. Be authentic, create content, tell stories, share part of yourself online, and suffer the consequences. Anyway, this is kind of a snack mukbang too. Got some snacks lined up, and I'm going to rate them from 1 to 10, 10 being best. Got some, and they're all vegan snacks because I'm a vegan person. I create vegan content. Vegan. Anyway, I got some Stellar Mini braids. You might have, if you've been on an airplane, sometimes they throw these. Hey, what's going on? They might have given these to you. I've had them before, but I'm going to rate them anyway because they're different flavors. I don't know if I've tried the bold and herby flavor before. A random bag of roasted hazelnuts, which I got at the food show. I don't know. I mean, it's got to be vegan. It's roasted hazelnuts, unless they were roasted in children's tears, perhaps. Who knows? Plant-based soy joy, straight from Japan, from a convenience store. Today I met up with Anita Dollar, who's a influencer from Osaka, and we did some collaborations. When I was back in Japan, we collaborated. Sometimes they can be honey roasted. Yeah, no, these aren't honey roasted. Well, no, they're not. They're just I'll tell you if they're not. We'll see. I'm gonna take that chance, but they do not look honey roasted to me. All they do is they like raw roasted, like just slightly roasted, without any salt or anything. You know what? I picked it up. I must have asked them, is there honey in these or whatever? I mean, who knows? I picked it up. I put it in my bag. Whatever. And then Soy Joy, plant-based. So I did a collaboration with Anita Dollar. We went to Vegan Besties, which is a vegan convenience store in the farmer's market. We went to Air One, which is the first Air One, sort of the first Air One. The Air One that started it all. It was actually across the street. They moved to a bigger location, whatever. Regardless of that, the very first Air One we went to, because I feel like she was visiting from Osaka. I figured like she needed to go to the Air One, whatever the motherland of vegan influencer places, the spot where all the there were people there were people live streaming there were people with tripods, there were all sorts of people. I met someone famous, I think someone famous from reality shows. I don't know, they were talking to me, whatever. Someone from some like real estate reality show. Regardless of that, it was amazing. And then we went to a place called Fromage. It's this gentleman named Yusuf makes incredible caprese style mozzarella, just really, and he makes these sandwiches that are incredible. So Vegan Besties are good stuff. They have a great Besties in East Hollywood. Yeah, they have 3 locations now. They have one at the farmer's market at the Grove. They have the East Hollywood location that has a little bit more, a larger selection of stuff. And then they have one at the Row in downtown LA that has more of like snacks and grab and go stuff. But the cool thing about the farmer's market is the Besties has an industrial kitchen. And the industrial kitchen is a place where they can make their own spreads and salads and all sorts of things. And the cool thing is they make all the sandwiches at the farmer's market location. They bring them over to the location in East Hollywood. So you can actually make things to order, change things around. I had this incredible submarine sandwich there that had all sorts of this prime roots, vegan meat, Prime roots meat is quite interesting too because it's meat from the Koji mycelium. You really miss the vegan food in LA. Where are you from? Where are you right now? Where you don't get any food anymore? Did you have to move? Did you have to move for work? You decided to go to a place that didn't have good vegan food? What happened to you? I'm going to try the roasted hazelnuts first, and I will tell you whether or not they're honey roasted or not. If not, there will be it. Australia, you visited LA a couple of times. Okay, that's cool. I mean, that's kind of cool. I think Melbourne has some good vegan options. Have you seen Kevin Smith's and their daughter Vegan Abattoir? Yeah, I have. Actually, I met Kevin Smith at a vegan event, and I chatted with him. And he didn't know who I was. I don't know if he knew. I don't know, these like famous people, I don't know if they know who I am or not. I mean, I post a lot of vegan content. They probably saw me humiliate myself online. Yeah, you're in Melbourne. I screened one of my films screened at Melbourne. I screened a film. It was called Giant Women Micro Budget, and it screened at the Monster Fest in Melbourne at Cinema Nova. Do you know where that is? If you do, tell me you do. Yeah, I've seen the Kevin Smith thing. I think it's great that they're promoting, vegan. I mean, I don't know. To me, I feel like I want to see more. I mean, I want to see maybe see him cook or something. Hey, don't mean, but how does nutrition work when being vegan? I mean, nutrition. I mean, it's just like anything. Like, how does nutrition work when you're being omnivore? I mean, being mindful of what you eat. I do. The Cinema Nova is awesome. Indie films and re-showing older films. Yeah, so yeah, my film screen. I played there twice. Two years in a row, I played at Cinema Nova with my documentaries. They were science fiction documentaries. Anyway, not vegan related. Anyway, regardless of that, where was I? I was talking about the Kevin Smith thing because I definitely want to talk about it. I hope it sticks around. Good evening. Love your videos and love your sense of humor. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, no, I want to talk about the Kevin Smith thing and his daughter. I think I mean, I have a daughter. I didn't know you made documentaries. Gonna have to find them. Yeah, I need to start posting more of that stuff. I'm working on a new one actually, which is going to be feature length, and it's about filmmaking. It's about indie filmmaking. And I've made feature films. I've made narrative features. I've made a lot of different types of films. Most of them gone to film festivals. Some of them, like my film Seahorses, is available on Apple. If you ever Victoria Green Cuisine. Best vegan cuisine. Okay, so let's talk about the Kevin Smith thing. I think that it definitely, there's a start of something cool. I don't know how relatable these small Los Angeles businesses are to the rest of the United States of America, but it is cool meeting these. I mean, I know most of them. I know most of these people that they interview because I promote this stuff too on my Instagram and YouTube, and I've tried a lot of the food. But I think that it's great when a mainstream voice like Kevin Smith talks about veganism and allows people to enjoy all sorts of or talks about, in a positive light and kind of introduces people to who wouldn't normally see vegan stuff. I'm kind of concerned that the show might not stick around if it doesn't get the views. I don't know how committed they are to the program. I hope they're committed, and I hope they keep on making shows. I mean, I just know the experience. Like, if you're not super committed to the vegan cause, you're concerned about, like, I don't know, like, bottom line. I know they have like some sponsorships and things like that. If that, I mean, if it does, sometimes that stuff, it takes a while to fly. And obviously too, there's probably some discomfort from his audience that expects something else, that's not expecting the the vegan content. And then also to vegan people, it's going to take them a while to be accustomed to someone who's a kind of what we maybe considered maybe someone we don't 100% know that well. It takes us a while. It took me a long time. I mean, people still, you know, are adapting to me as a vegan creator, and I've been doing it for like 7 years. So just, I mean, it's just you just have to just keep bumping and doing your stuff, and people, oh, they're in it for the right reasons. I mean, it seems like they're in it for the right reasons, and I mean, again, what are the right reasons? It's better for your health. Obviously, the factory farm system is a horror show. There's a better way. It's more sustainable for the environment. I don't know. I can give you a million reasons why it's better to be vegan. So and then I feel I don't necessarily think that I would love to see more variety in the show, because I think that it's not just about veganism isn't just about decadent food. It's about making mindful choices, because even if you're not vegan, making a mindful choice about what you're eating, I think, is important. I think it's important that we do these things. It's like, um, but yeah. So yeah, I'm all for famous people talking up veganism. Hey man, I'm down. I'm down with that. Let me see. You're not vegan, but you like your videos, and how different they are from others. Keep up the good work. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't follow any other creators. I just do my thing. I've sort of developed a certain style that maybe from hashing it out on TikTok and just doing my thing. And I definitely know that it's effective in some ways. Maybe, I mean, I think that I can always improve, and I'm always learning to improve. I'm always trying to get better, you know. And I know too that a lot of people that follow me aren't vegan, but and I mean, my family isn't vegan, so and I support them, and I don't cast them aside. So definitely, I know that as a vegan, I live in an omnivore world. But I think that we should definitely introduce more plant-based foods into our diet. Can you talk about the equipment recommended? Hold on. Oh, okay, this is interesting. Pamela Anderson has a house in Vancouver. Yes, good. Can you talk about the equipment to starting to be a content creator? Your husband is a gray vegetarian. I guess I'm a gray vegan. Yeah. I love how you don't bash people, and you're not who have not made the choices yet. Yeah. Well, the other part of not bashing people. I mean, it took me a long time to become vegan. I didn't become a vegan until I'm almost 60 years old, and I became a vegan in my 40s. So obviously, it took me. There were many years where I was not vegan. I was eating dairy. I was eating fish. I was eating. I had different choices. So I just feel like everybody has their own dietary journey, and we should not, cast them aside. I mean, just respect people's choices, but as long as they're making, thoughtful choices and educated choices. What made me go vegan? I'll talk about that later. But let's. There was another question about like what you need to make content, and really, you just need a phone, and you need inspiration. I think that the most important thing is telling a story, and being authentic about the storytelling. Like and so I mean, if I'm a role model, and I know that there's a lot of people that it's not necessarily here on YouTube, because I've relatively been relegated to sort of like low tier. I don't know. My content hasn't really caught on here on this app, just basically because of the way the algorithm is set up, and the way YouTube has sort of separated their short form content from from the long form content. But I mean, I have nearly 300,000 followers on TikTok. I have over 200,000 followers on Insta. I have followers like on a lot of different other platforms as well. So I mean, I do have experience building platforms, and it really came from coming up with an idea, and making content, simple, cool content, and storyline content, and bringing putting a part of myself in the content, and might be even, like copying, being inspired by other people's content. I know, like I do. I what I do is, I come up with a story, I record a voiceover, then I cut images to the voiceover. It depends. If it's a recipe, usually the voiceover comes secondary. I cut the images together, then I do the voiceover. Right now, I use some professional equipment, but it's not necessary if you do things properly. I think the most important thing is to just start, and then you start building things around you. When it comes to light, there's nothing that looks better than the sun. When I go to restaurants and it's dark and gloomy or something, I'll grab the plate of food that I have, and I'll take it outside, have the sun hit it, and hit it with my camera. If you're near a window, a natural light is the best way to record food or recipes or things like that. You don't necessarily need expensive lights and equipment. You can get some relatively inexpensive lights if you want to do lights. Most of my recipe setups is one overhead light, which is basically just brings up the temperature, and that's at daylight. And then I have a little ellipsoidal style point of light that kind of hits for sculpting the image. So I basically, most of my videos are just two lights, because I have kind of a system where I'm not near natural light. As per voiceover, there's all sorts of little microphones you can get. I use this thing. It's a Shure SM7, and it's a professional microphone. It's not necessary. I mean, I think the most important thing is telling the story. But little by little building things. Also, too, for cooking, I have these little magnetic lights that I stick up on the stove to light down but again, not necessary. The most important thing is cool, authentic content. I am a kind of a gear fiend too, so that's another problem. Anyway, let me see what else. That I think I answered that pretty well. Love your channel, makes me miss LA. I love your shot lists and your videos. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. What made me go vegan? Okay, so I've always kind of been empathetic for animal, but at animal, like like when I was a kid, you see an animal suffer. I like I don't know, see a squirrel get hit by a car or something. I don't know. I would always recoil, like more than I think most people. I'm gonna drink some volcanic water while doing this. And I didn't know where it came from, why I was so empathetic to animals. And we're programmed as, I don't know, humans to just, eat the hamburger, to be disconnected from where the food came from. You go to a supermarket and you don't know like how the animals do this thing or whatever. But I kind of actually came from the health side where I was just, I was extremely overweight when I was younger. And cutting out red meat was a good way for me to lose weight. And so I cut out, the hamburger, and I didn't miss it. I don't like nowadays, oh, don't you miss a big steak or whatever? I mean, that stuff like just kind of grosses me out. I've been eating red meat since I was like 19 years old. And then I cut out eating chicken, like in my 20s. Ate fish for a while, for a pretty long time. I cut fish out like in my late, maybe 30s, and then in my 40s, I stopped eating dairy, and then I started doing more research once I went vegan about factory farm system. I'm concerned about the environment. I'm concerned about sustainable choices. I feel, and then well into flash forward into my 50s, I became a social media influencer, an old man talking about vegan food, making vegan recipes, doing all sorts of different things, just learning about, the lifestyle, meeting really interesting, cool people, meeting incredibly creative food creators, and then promoting brands and promoting small businesses and, just getting, and making fun, enjoyable content, making content that I feel like inspires people, and that's, that's where it comes from. But yeah, I think that, back to the making the content, I mean, I kind of teased it in the very beginning. I think it's really important, if you want to be a content creator, if you have something that you're very passionate about, you just have to make the content. Maybe it'll catch up. Maybe, most of the content I made when I first started really sucked, and didn't have wasn't sharp. It wasn't properly shot, and and just came. It was cringe. But you find your voice. You learn how to communicate, and it's either in you or it's not in you, and also too, you also risk the scrutiny of, you people, the great things and supportive people, and also people that, are hostile and angry, and and then you have to just deal with it, because that's the way the world is. That's the way the internet world is, at least. Let me see. You didn't inspire anyone in your family to go vegan. I they I wasn't, when they were grown, they don't, I mean, I okay, so they eat a lot of vegan food. They're not vegan, but I'm gonna let them make their own journeys and make their own decisions. Uh, you know, that's their choice. And they weren't, it's not like a situation where, I had my kid and then, okay, well, I'm going to raise them vegan, because they weren't vegan when they were born or when they grew up. So I'm going to let them make their own decisions. I think that's the best way. You can't force anyone anything. I do feel, though, that I have an interesting perspective, because if my family's not vegan, I see perspective in the omnivore world. Also, when it comes to like vegan chicken or vegan cheese or things like that, I make sure that they try it, so that, like, what does this taste like? Is this, is this right? What do you think of this? I try to make sure that someone who's, I have test people that can actually test the food, and because the other part of what I do is not, I'm not this like utilitarian vegan where it's like, okay, I'm gonna eat the food, whatever food it is. It doesn't have to taste good, and or if something like comes out, it's the greatest thing ever. I'm gonna be critical about, um, I don't know, Beyond Meat, or some product that comes out. I'm going to do that. I'm going to make sure that I'm, responsible, but tell people, like, I like it or I don't like it. And a lot of people do respect my opinion about the way I create, about the the food that I review. I mean, I do the best I can. Sometimes, obviously, maybe sometimes I don't prepare the things properly. I do, sometimes I'll prepare things like 2 or 3 times before I make any opinion, especially if it's some big release. But there was a sort of, I remember when I was first coming up, there was a lot of static, because vegans were unhappy that I was saying critical things about vegan food, and like, no, you can't say it, it's vegan, it's got it, it's good because it's not, harming animals. Like, oh, but dude, if this represents veganism, then it's not a good thing. Veganism needs to be delicious food, and so that once the food is delicious, then it inspires people to keep on eating more vegan food. Anything else? How much longer do you want me to talk? Or I'm going to try some food. I'm going to try the roasted hazelnuts. Hopefully they're not honey roasted, but I don't think they are. I'll find. I'll try one first, and I'm going to give it a rating. So here, this is the plastic is. I was going to here. The plastic's definitely not vegan. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna try one. Random roasted hazelnuts. Here goes. Definitely not honey roasted. Very good. Very simple. I give it a 7 out of 10. Okay. Drink some of my volcanic water that I also got at the food show. I went to the, look at this, like, it's like you got this blue light. It must be expensive water. 1% for the plant. They give, supposedly they give money to the Galapagos Island or something. Here, it's Splendor. It's got to be expensive, but I got it for free at the food show. I'm drinking it. I'll tell you. I'll give a rating list. For people in the stock market, vegan does not. Vegan is what? Oh, there's a yeah, vegan stock market. Vegan does and is doing real well compared to VOOG. It's excellent. Isn't like the vegan stock exchange like they invest in like Apple and like just like this big mainstream. I mean I haven't seen that investment, but I there was one that was investing strictly in vegan companies and it didn't do that well. But then there was one that's like just basically mostly mainstream businesses. I don't know. Here, I'm going to try the volcanic water. It comes from, where does this come from? It's artesian water. What's their freaking story? Filtered over centuries. This water is centuries old. Well, it's been filtered for centuries. But maybe after a while, if the water's been filtered for centuries, maybe it just goes bad after a while. No, it's still being filtered. It's filtered. It's through the basalt and lava rocks from the Cotopaxi, must be Cotopaxi volcano. Splendor, like I think it's a Mexican volcano, right? In like Estapa, naturally occurring colloidal gold and silver. So there's some gold and silver in this. Electrolytes and minerals. I mean, I need electrolytes. Anyway, I'm going to try this. I hope this is not, I've been boring the hell out of me, so it's probably boring you too. So let me just drink this and I'll tell you what I think of it. I mean, it tastes like good tap water. I don't know. It's blue. Look at this. Look how cool. It's glass. It's not plastic, man. This is hardcore. 0 calories. Makes me feel fancy drinking from a cobalt blue bottle. I mean, it's like let's package water like tequila. It's probably priced like tequila too. I mean, it's got to be more than. Look, it's got a little gold, AU gold. See, it's got the little gold element. So maybe I'm drinking some gold right now. That's a good way to bring up the price point. Okay, we're gonna try another sample. Stellar pretzels. I've already had these. I love these. I get them on the plane. But what's cool about Stellar is they have the vegan butter. So here we go. We're gonna try this now. I'm gonna give it a rating too. It's your lucky day. Why would water have calories? I don't know. Maybe if they fortify it with protein water. Like Beyond just came up with their new protein water. Be good, fresh. Got the owner's story on the back here. Peanut free, vegan. They're not afraid to say vegan on the label, like most other businesses now. Proudly made, Carson City, Nevada. Yeah, these are great. I feel like texture-wise they're good. They're like little pretzels. 9 out of 10. Okay. Should I try the Soy Joy plant-based bar thing? It looks like they're doing like a white chocolate thing. I'm gonna try it. Excited about this. Ooh, I'm not sure about this. Here, looks more like a biscuit and less than like a chocolate. Okay, we're gonna try this. I mean, interesting. So it must be like a soy biscuit of sorts. With all the protein, you're afraid for people's kidneys. I don't know. Yeah, I guess protein's like some like buzzword now. We need more protein, protein, protein. That's like we need less fat, maybe, and maybe more fiber. They should fiber needs a better PR agent than the protein. I I think that's like a masculine thing. Like, yeah, protein, like more mass gains or something. I mean, dude, I mean, I guess if you're a bodybuilder, you might need a lot of protein. I mean, if you're not a bodybuilder, then is it important? It's actually quite interesting. It's not what I expected. I thought it was going to be more of a soft bar, but it's like a soy biscuit. My vegan friend from Japan gave them to me, so I'm assuming that it's vegan. Can't imagine it's not. It says plant-based, so what does that mean, really? But 7 out of 10. But what's weird about the Japanese snacks is they kind of creep up at you. Like you taste it and like, right when you taste it, and then all of a sudden, like a couple days later, you start thinking about it again. Like, yeah, maybe I'll get that again. There was like some cookie that I had when I was in Japan. It was like this cookie. It was like a sugar cookie thing. It was like a vegan sugar cookie. It was at one of the convenience stores. I remember trying it and like not liking it, and then I kept on thinking about it. And then I would go into the convenience stores, look for it. And I didn't find it anymore. It was like a fever dream cookie or something. Just showed up and then all of a sudden disappeared forever. Okay, I've been doing this for 30 minutes. You guys have any more comments, concerns? I'm pretty much done. You burned me out. I tried things. We went live. Any more questions, comments, concerns? This one will be archived. So if you want to see me again, you just watch it. Oh, also, can you please watch Keep Up the Great Work, Vanilla Sky tonight, great movie. Okay, can you guys watch my series or something? I mean, dude, it's like nobody's watching it. It's like it's got like 3 views. It's called VHP's Vegan Doomsday. It's good. It's funny. You learn recipes. There's 5 episodes. Protein has gotten out of hand. I watch it. Okay, that's the one person that watched it. I love the series. Okay. The 3 people that watched it have commented. Anyway, please watch it again. You showed it. You showed it to your best friend. That's good. Good. Okay. So I got 4 views. 4 people watched my series. Because it's like, and it's just, yes. Okay. Thank you. So it's called VHP's Doomsday, Doomsday Cooking. And basically the concept, you watch them. Thank you. Watch them again, please. Watch them like 3 times. Memorize the lines. You watch a great little series. Yes, I'm trying to make more. I was going to try to make more like a couple days ago. Hopefully I'll be able to shoot one on Friday or 1 or 2. VHP, it's VHP, Vegan Hacks Pod. That's my name for some reason. But it's funny, it's informative, and each episode gets better. I'm learning how to put them together. And they're long form videos. It just seems like every one I make gets less views. And I would think it'd be, I mean, normally in my world, usually it's the other way around. Each one I make gets more views. Have you ever been to Disneyland? Oh, the happy, healthy. Yeah, I don't like the food at Disneyland. I would rather go to Orange County. Down the street, there's like a Vietnamese place where the food's cheaper, better, more delicious. I would rather get out of Disneyland, eat like really great Vietnamese food because there's a great Vietnamese community in that area. Really good Middle Eastern food too. Then go to Disneyland and get overpriced stuff that doesn't jibe with me. Stuff isn't that bad. It's just, and it's thoughtful. I give them credit for making thoughtful vegan options. It's just, I don't like the food at Disneyland. You love me vegan, yes. All right. Well, thank you, everyone, for sticking around. I appreciate all of you, and au revoir. I'm going away. Goodbye. Thank you for listening to me. I hope I was entertaining. I tried to be.